What's up, everybody? Listen, I just want to start off this video just by letting you know in advance that what you're about to watch is a pretty in-depth review. And I did that because when I first started outside of hunting, I wanted to know everything there was to know about it. And so, we're going to be talking about the ounces, all the way down to the, the cam cleat and the rope. And we're going to be talking about the exact measurements of the platform, the stick, and all that. And then we're going to get on the tree and show how it functions and all different types of positions. And then I'm going to talk about pricing at the end, because all these play factor into, which stick you'd want to get. And I think this would be a great video, especially if you're starting to get into one sticking, or if you're even just starting to saddle hunting. I think all this would help you be able to form decisions on how you'd want to move forward. And so hopefully you can stick with me through this whole video. It is a pretty lengthy video, but I think for good reason. Anyway, yeah, I hope you all enjoy it, and we'll see you at the end, because I'm going to let you know at the end which stick I'm going to be choosing for this season. Cool. What's up, everybody? So I just wanted to do this little review. Actually, it's not going to be little. It's going to be pretty in depth. I'm trying to be. I just want to do this review on these two one sticks that seem to be the popular ones here in the industry. This is the EWO One Stick with the Ultimate platform. Now they have the flat one, but this is still the angled one. And this is an 18-inch stick, and I'll probably be saying that all throughout the video because it does play a factor to it. And then this is the Trophyline Wingman that comes standard with the 17-inch, and you can't change that. Maybe they will in the future, but right now it's only 17. So I got my coffee. There actually is coffee in here. And then I got my beard comb here. Listen, you gotta be ready when you're on camera here. So hopefully I look beautiful for y'all. And yeah, I just got my my sticks here, and we'll go over some details down to the ounces, and then I got my the sheet over here to help me out with that. So yeah, let's get to it. All right, so we're just gonna start off with the weight of these things. If you notice on this, there is no cam cleat. I just want to do bare bones stick. The weight measurement, now there is the button on this one. I just didn't want to take it off. Sorry. I got this off of EWO. I really like the black, all black. I didn't really like the camo. I just think the black looks a lot more sleek and just looks nice. And so, like I said, I got the UP, the Ultimate platform, the angled one. This is 30-degree angle. And I got the 18-inch stick. I'm 6'4", and so I wanted to get the longer stick because I've heard some people say that they've run into shins hitting this with the shorter stick, but again, it's all preference. But just for the sake of kind of being close in similarities, I got the 18-inch stick so I could compare it with the Trophyline 17-inch. So yeah, I got this, and one thing that I like about the EWO is that it comes pre-drilled with the cam cleat holes. Wait, let's start there. That's what I wanted to do. Listen, before we even get with the stick, cam cleat. This is, in my opinion, and I think in a lot of others' opinions, that this is essential to one sticking. You have to have a cam cleat to one stick. And the other option, or the other thing that I think is essential, is having some sort of, obviously you need a rope. And like I said, the Wingman comes with this strap. But just look at the bulkiness. Obviously you can, wrap this up. But I think the benefit of the rope is, one, it's more sleek, it's slim, streamlined, it's very light, and these Amsteel ropes are rated at so much. I mean, thousands and thousands of pounds. So these two, I think, are the most essential thing in one sticking. So you need a cam cleat, and you need some sort of strong rope. Do not get a buckle system. It will not work with a cam cleat, but it's just also not as effective because you need to be quiet and quick and safe. All right, so let's go in the weight of this. The cam cleat, if you get this cam cleat, without the nuts and bolts, you're looking at 2.6 ounces. Now, if you add the bolts and the nut, you're looking at 3.3 ounces total with both. And then this rope, this is a 7-foot Amsteel rope. I think it's 3/16. So this one is rated at, this one is 2.8 ounces. So this, with the cleat, you're looking at only 6 ounces, 6.1 ounces. So that's nothing. Now the strap alone that comes with the Wingman is itself, just the strap is, I think it was like 6.3 ounces. So that's already a lot. I mean, it really does feel like a lot. And it's kind of bulky. Yeah, it does pack small, but I don't know. I just don't want it, so I think I just did my floor. Yee. All right, so we're gonna start with the EWO One Stick. Now the weight, this is just, like I said, bare bones. They pre-drill the Cam Cleat holes, which I think is awesome, because I'm not a mechanic, I'm not, smart like that. So already having this pre-drilled is awesome, and that comes with all the sticks, 12, 15, 18, 22, 24, I think, whatever. Pre-drilled Cam Cleat holes. So this bare bones with no cleat is 3 pounds, 5.2 ounces. So then if you do add the cleat, which I think you have to, again, the 18-inch stick, we're looking at 3 pounds, 8.5 ounces. And then when you add the rope to that, we're looking at 3 pounds, 11.3 ounces. So your total walking into the woods with this stick and cleat and the rope, you're looking at 3 pounds, 11.3 ounces. And again, that could vary with the rope that you're using. So I definitely suggest the Amsteel. All right, so we will talk about the weight of the Trophyline now. So this picture, there no button being on this, because that's how I weighed it. So without the button, this comes in at 3 pounds, 5.9 ounces. So again, the EWO with no cleat was 3 pounds, 5.2 ounces. Sorry, this is without the button is 3 pounds, 5.1 ounce. With the button was 3 pounds, 5.9 ounces. Excuse me. So 3 pounds, 5.2 ounces, no cleat. 3 pounds, 5.1 ounces, no cleat. So literally, it's the same. They weigh the exact same, 0.1 ounce. Come on, give me a break. Now, when we talk about lengthwise, real quick, just a quick measurement. This length from bottom of the stick to the top of the flat platform, we're looking at 18 3/4 inches. The bottom of the stick to the top of this little knock right here that kind of just sticks out of the platform is 17 3/4. But if you go from the bottom stick to the top of the actual flat platform, it's 17 1/4. So that's pretty much it with the weight wise. They're literally the same exact weight with the 18-inch stick and the 17-inch stick. Hope that helps in terms of weight, that these are the exact same. In terms of bulk, they're the same. There's not much extra going on here. Yeah, so now let's get into the details of the actual stick, and we'll start off with the EWO. All right, so we're going to start off kind of just talking about the platforms, because those are the most important, I feel, when you're one sticking. So let's talk about the EWO. This right here is the most, I think I'm going to make up this word, the most grippiest platform I've seen, which I'm very surprised, because when I first saw, when you see it online, you can't really tell. You just see it and you're like, oh, cool. It looks nice, but you can't really tell with the pictures that how much grip it has. And let me tell you, this, like, just hearing this right here, if you can hear that there's so much texture. There's not just like different spot. The texture of that is everywhere. It's like very, very coarse sandpaper kind of feel, and that's all throughout the platform, all over. And then they also have these little ridges and stuff, indentations that stick out to help even help you grip even more. I'm very surprised by that. It is very, very the texture is very, very grippy, and I think that'll be an interesting feature when I get on the tree to try it. I like how the EWO, obviously this isn't new, but it has that little indentation in the middle. So when you're one sticking, you can put your rope there, and it's very smooth in there. It does have that texture up top, but it's not sharp. So I feel like your rope will be safe in there to keep this against the tree. That's a nice feature. So this has, you'll see, it has the, maybe, I don't know, it has the 30-degree angle. Like I said, they did come out with a flat one, but I think comfort-wise, having the angle is a lot more comfortable. But again, I haven't tried the flat one, so maybe, I don't know. Again, to each their own. This is the Ultimate Platform angled, so we're going to talk about that one. 30 degrees. The Wingman is 25, and actually you can see, even though you say, oh, it's only 5 degrees, there really is a big difference. Hopefully you can see that. It's hard to see on my screen, but there's a big difference of this drop. So I'm interested to see how much more comfortable or uncomfortable the EWO stick is. being more of a drastic drop. So you got the grippiness, you got the integrated standoff, which I think is an awesome feature because for me it feels like it'll be a little bit more stable than the Wingman, but we'll find out. The only thing that I do not like just from looking at it is how much less surface area there is than the Wingman. So if we take our little measuring tape here, I'm sure you've seen tons of other videos that do this, but you know, I want to do it as well because it's fun to see it in a person. You can't see, but 13.5 inches from basically wingtip to wingtip, and this is where the angled part is. So 13.5 inches on the angled part, and then as you get up to the flat part of the platform, you lose like 2.5 inches. So from here to here, which is the flat part of it, we're looking at just 10 inches. So you go from 13.5 and then squishes down to 10. And it pretty much stays there, yeah, all the way to the standoff. So you got 13.5, you lose 2.5 inches, and then you go to 10. The Wingman has a lot more surface area. Let's go ahead and talk about the surface area on that. This is the drop off right here. From the drop off, we're looking at about 11.5 inches. And that's the same as this up top. Yeah, 11.5. And then this is where it starts to angle off this portion right here. So if we measure that, we're looking at 12 inches. So from here, let's put this side by side. I know I'm not saying anything new. It's just good to see it again, and especially in person. From here to here, it drops 2.5 inches. That's a big surface area change. From here to here, it actually goes out. You get more from the drop off, the angled, and then basically from here to here, you're losing about 1/2 inch, right? I think that was right. 12. Yeah, about 1/2 inch, which is and it's not a drastic drop. So you're getting way more surface area than you do on this platform, the EWO, which I'm interested because I was so crazy about this last year, wanting to get it, and then seeing it in person, I'm like, man, it is a lot smaller. Now, if you have tiny feet, it may not be a big deal for you, but you know, like I said, I have size 15 feet. I'm a freak, and so I need all the surface area I can get. I think honestly, Trophyline wins on the surface area. And let's talk about the texture on this. Like, it's not like this is not grippy at all. Like I said, I hunted off this last year. Not once did my feet slip. I did put paracord on the edge, and it did help out a little with extra, grip. But I mainly did that because if you look on here, this actually has a indentation that comes out, that sticks out, whereas the UP kind of has a little cave inside for your rope. So I put a little paracord on the outside of this, so I was still able to put the rope there, and it didn't, it wasn't sharp, so that helped. You don't need to have that little indentation. Is that the right word? Whatever. I'm not very good at vocab. That's why I've been playing Wordle, trying to help me. So yeah, the surface, like the grip on this is really nice. It doesn't have that kind of as much of a sandpaper kind of feel, the coarseness as the UP, but it has, I feel like it has, well, I don't want to say a lot more. No, it just has a lot of these ridges that stick up that help kind of grip. And like I said, I didn't have one time where it slipped, where I slipped last time. And I will say I didn't have one time where the stick kicked out on me. And I did do the sample, testing of, trying to kick on it. And I will say that, just picture this button's not here, that these do not have pre-drilled holes. So when you get your Harken, it does come with a template that you can put on here and kind of mark where the holes are, and then you have to drill yourself. But I will say it is actually very easy to drill through this. I thought it was going to be a lot more difficult. I thought I was going to push so hard, but it was actually pretty easy to drill through through this stick. So yeah, that's pretty much it in terms of length. All the measurements, I think Trophyline wins on surface area just by looking at it. Obviously there's more room. One thing I do like though about the UP is that you don't have to get it, but you can get it to where, you know, you get that pull out rope on top, and then it just, you know, it just feeds back into the stick. Just make sure if you do that, you have to install the wire, rope, whatever, before you put on the platform, and then before you put on the cam cleat, because the purpose is that when you pull it, it catches on the bolt, so it just doesn't pull right out, right? So you got to make sure you put the bolts through the wire when you're doing it. But I think that's a nice feature. Last year I used just, you know, it wasn't obnoxious, but I just kind of tied a night eyes gear tie around it. It was 24 inches and it just lived right here, so I was able to, you know, pull it up easily. I've also noticed that, or heard that a lot of people are taking the EWO standoffs and putting them on the Trophyline, and you can tell just by looking at it that the Trophyline already sits higher than the EWO. And if we take a measurement from the table to the top, we're looking at 8.5 inches, right? Now from the table to this, we're looking at just a couple nicks under 8 inches. So we're talking about an inch, a half-inch difference, just from the factory, that this is standing off the tree further than the EWO. So let's get out on a tree and let's see how these things function. Cool? All right, y'all. So we're in the tree. We got both sticks set up. We got the bottom one, we're looking at the EWO. And then we got the top one over here, the Trophyline Wingman. For me, just to start off, I have a size 15 foot. So these are size 15 boots, and automatically I'm finding myself, when I stand on this, already on the lean. Obviously I am leaning away from the tree. You know, when I sit, I'm finding that most of my weight already is kind of in the middle of my foot at the drop off, where it starts to angle off, because it is a little bit sharper of a turn than the Trophyline. It's, you know, 30 degrees as opposed to 25. And again, that's just, you know, that's my foot. I'm feeling a lot of pressure, basically, right here in my foot, kind of right in the arch. But we're just gonna get it started. We're gonna do some sturdiness test. We're gonna see how it feels, you know, doing a backside shot. You know, we're standing against a tree. We're gonna look at the angle. You can already see, you know, my feet are angled off. We're gonna do some side pressure tests on both of these. And I don't have a cam cleat for the Wingman, so I'm just using the strap that it came with. I'm not sure if it'll play a factor in sturdiness or not, but you know, it's kind of what we got. And I will say this is a very barky tree. It's kind of the only one I could find that's close to my house. But we're gonna go with it because, you know, in the woods, this may be the only tree available that's, you know, has the kind of shots you need. So anyway, we're just gonna start. I'm just gonna start jumping on this. I will say it's not moving at all. That's for sure. I mean, obviously there's, you know, a little movement when you go side to side, but that's just, I think that's normal. It's not like it's affecting anything. I don't really feel it moving when I'm moving side to side. I'm just kind of looking at it visually, looking down, I can see it moving. But, you know, it's a couple millimeters, it's nothing crazy. But yeah, the angle, I will say, again, I hunted off the Wingman last year. So the angle on this is definitely more pronounced than the Wingman. It's not uncomfortable. You can look at my boots and see how they're definitely sticking up in the air a lot more than normal. Usually they're probably about there on the other one, but yeah, I'm just trying to figure out where I would be if I use this. Probably around here. That's kind of normal. But yeah, y'all, this is rock steady. It's not going anywhere. It's really sturdy. So I'm gonna do a side test. I'm gonna go on this side so we can get this angle over here. And I'm just gonna Gonna push. Yeah, I'm 240 pounds, and I'm kind of pushing away from the tree with my hands, but I'm gonna jump. You know, Greg Staggs did this, and you know, I was always interested in it, so I'm gonna do the same thing. Y'all, it ain't going nowhere. I mean, this should tell you that this thing is sturdy, because you're never gonna be doing this while you're hunting. If you are, then you're obviously not trying to get an animal. You're just trying to have fun, which, hey, that's not a bad thing, you know. You just want to have a little fun. But y'all, I'm really trying to break this thing. You can see that it's not going anywhere. It's because of these integrated standoff on the platform. It's really making it sturdy. I will say, so in terms of surface area, with my feet, y'all, there really just isn't a lot. I would definitely find myself, I feel like I would be using more of the angled part than anything, because it's just, it comes in, like we said earlier, 2.5 inches from the angle point to the flat point. So when I sit down, I mean, it's not uncomfortable. It is comfortable for sure. It's just, you know, if I want to space my feet out, I'm having to angle it to get some sort of help from the angled part. Because if I'm sitting against a tree, you can't really see from these angles, but you know, I have about, you know, 1.5 inches, 2 inches between my shoes, and that's about all I got with all the platform. Because if I go more on the side, I'm feeling the pressure more actually on my feet, because there's no surface there. It just ends. So take that as you can. Again, as you will. You know, take that as you will. Try that again. I have a size 15 foot. So if you have a big foot, then you know this could be, you know, an issue in terms of having a place to stand. But if you have a smaller foot, this may not be as big of an issue. I mean, y'all, I can't. I'm looking down and I cannot see the platform. I can see the angled part where it comes out, but I can't see it because of my foot. And that's just, you know, that's just how God made me. So blame him, not you, not EWO. I mean, but like I said, this is really comfortable just sitting here. The grippiness we talked about. I mean, I'm trying to drag my foot off. Like you can hear that. I'm not the strongest guy, but I don't have, you can tell my legs are pretty weak. I have chicken legs, but it takes a lot of effort for that to slip. I had some people ask about, you know, kind of these kind of shots, and I saw somebody do this and say that it wasn't really comfortable. Actually, I'll be honest with y'all, this is really comfortable. I think having this angle right here actually helps me stabilize a little more. You know, doing it from this side, if I needed to come over here, I think this actually helps, because I feel really stable even with just one foot, because this is pushing me out in a way that I feel like I can shoot like this, because I'm stable right here. I feel like I could find myself sitting here the whole time, or for a while. Excuse me, not the whole time. Sitting like this actually is really comfortable. I don't find myself like running out of space. I'm just doing that on purpose, but like my whole foot, my right foot is taking up the whole flat part of the platform, and then my left one is kind of just chilling here. And I think with the grip, it's not causing it to slip. It's just kind of just chilling. This is actually very comfortable. I actually would probably this is probably how it would sit for a while. Hopefully they wouldn't come behind me, but if they did, you know, I could just slowly turn. But it's actually, it is a lot more comfortable than I thought. And this angle part isn't an issue in my opinion. I think it actually helps. Now, I had some people asking about standing against your back, with your back against a tree. Now, I've never done that, just because with these stick platforms, there's not a lot of surface area and I have big feet. But we're gonna do it for this video because I wanna know as well how these work. Let's try to not get against the microphone. Right. Yeah, I would never do this hunting. I mean, I could, because this right here, the tether, you know, is actually helping with the lack of platform's surface area. So I'm feeling less of trying to catch my feet on the platform because this is catching me right here. But as you can see, my feet are, look how far my feet are hanging off. And this is not really a comfortable situation. I wouldn't really want to be here for too long. But I could if I needed to. But again, this is just the curse of size 15. But yeah, you can see that they're hanging off a tree, and my feet are totally against it. If you have smaller feet, you could probably find more comfort by, you know, your feet being like that, having more, you know, grip there. But I feel like I'm at the mercy of my tether kind of stopping me. It's definitely interesting. I'll be interested to see what the Trophyline does in terms of that. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. So yeah, you can see here there's the little pull-up rope, and when you're ready to, you know, grab your stick, you just pull that up and yank it, and then whenever you want to go back in, I guess you just push it down. It's a cool feature. I mean, it's out of the way. You don't feel like I'm stepping on it. I don't feel it in my foot. I just put it in the middle between the standoff, and it's out of the way. So I think I would find myself more being a leaner. I am more of a sitter. I think this is comfortable sitting. It's not uncomfortable, and it really is all preference, and also has to do with the size of your foot. I mean, yo, look at this. Look at the size of this. It's just huge. It's a big foot. So I think I would be finding myself in this position more, just because of my feet. So yeah, it's hard to give a demonstration of how it could be for somebody with smaller feet. I don't have a shorter friend with me. I do have a shorter friend, but he lives about an hour away, and he doesn't have a saddle. So you got to get him on the right track. Yeah, that's awesome. My only complaint is the lack of surface area. That's you know, it's just because I have big feet. So. All right, we're gonna scoot over to this Wingman. So yeah, we got the Wingman up here. I can already tell just a huge difference, just in the angled part. I feel less pressure in the middle of my foot, and honestly it feels like I'm not standing on an angled platform, if that makes sense. I know it is angled. My feet are in the air just a little bit. You can tell they're not as pronounced as the EWO. So just for me personally right now, it does feel a little more comfortable. Yeah, I don't feel as much like before on the EWO. I felt a lot of pressure in the middle of my foot. It wasn't uncomfortable pressure. I just felt, you know, I could feel the stick more, the platform. I don't really feel any of that here. But anyway, so. Let's jump, get a little test. Now it did move up a little bit there. Okay, I just don't think it was set. I'm gonna jump. That's nice. Okay, I think it also just needed to be set a little more. So that ain't, I mean, that's, again, it's moving side to side, kind of just like the EWO was. It is a little more. Because the platform is not integrated with the standoff, so they are separate. I'm like really kicking it side to side. It's, like I said, it's not much, but it is noticeable. It definitely is moving more. That is for sure. But I think it has to, just because it's not integrated with each other. But that's not moving. That's pretty sturdy as well. I don't know, this could be a thing, it could just not be. Like, I kind of like how it moves a little bit, because I feel like I kind of do this, I found myself doing this a lot last year, kind of just rocking back and forth. I probably shouldn't, but just for the sake of this, I'm going to confess and say that I did. But the platform kind of moves with my foot, so it's almost like it's one with my foot. So I don't feel like, I feel like the pressure is being dispersed evenly throughout my foot because it's kind of moving with it. But I will say I'm about to do some side pressure test, and I am curious because I didn't do this last year. Make sure it's just steady. Again, I'm 240, so I'm going to try to do the same kind of test. All right. Lord, keep me safe. All right, here we go. Yeah, I'm trying to kick this like Chuck Norris. I'll do a couple more. Do a couple more. So, honestly, I think just like the EWO, it made it a little bit, it made it set better actually. There's less movement because I think it was able to dig into the tree more, especially with this bark. I'm out of breath, y'all. Breathing like a cow. Whew. So I think that actually helped. And since the brackets are rotating, it didn't move the stick at all. The stick is straight up and down. So I would say both of these are just as stable. Traction. This definitely feels less, like there's less traction, but you can hear it. You can hear the little, it's like, I mean, it is taking a lot of force to try to get my foot to kick out. But I will say it feels like there's less traction on this than the Ultimate platform. Kind of how I said last time, my whole feet were covering the platform with about 1.5 to 2 inches apart from each other. So I'm gonna put it about the same place. I mean, that's pretty fair. I'll even go a little bit more. And I can still see the edge of the platform. I can see there's definitely more space. If I put my feet in between, there's probably about 3 or 4 inches. I'm still on the platform. Actually, there's this little part right here on the edges of the platform. Right here. This little edge right here. I feel like it's helping me keep, almost like it's pushing my foot back onto the platform, which is nice. So I don't feel like my foot is just in the air, if that makes sense. So I mean, there's probably about this much space between my feet, and my whole foot is on the platform. In terms of width, the width of my foot is. I really think that Trophyline wins in terms of surface area and comfortability. Just in my opinion, that could be my feet. So now let's do that twist around test. Oh wait, no, let's do this one first. The EWO is definitely more comfortable in this position. Because it's so pronounced of an angle, I feel that it's actually like a foot step, you know, its own step. As opposed to this, like I said, it's like more of a smooth turn. That this kind of just feels, it's not uncomfortable. It's just, that one's definitely more pronounced. And I feel like my whole foot, like my left foot, was on the angled part. This, I can kind of feel it's off. So not as comfortable, but not uncomfortable. I will say this part right here, we'll do it on this side. This part right here, where my toe is, sticks up off the platform. I wish it didn't do that. And that's one thing that the EWO is that it's just flat, the whole top. But this little indentation is kind of annoying if you're trying to do that, because I can definitely feel it. It's not uncomfortable, it's there. So sitting sideways, yeah, I can still feel this little notch up on top, but it's kind of like in the indentation in my boot right here. So it kind of almost like it was made for each other. I definitely like the EWO. I keep pointing because it's over there. I like the EWO, the angle part for this, just because I feel like it's like its own step. This one is kind of, I'm just have my foot on the platform, but it's not uncomfortable. All right, so now let's do the back against the tree. Man, I've never done this, so I look ridiculous trying to do it. Again, this kind of takes the pressure off the feet. I'll be honest with you, I don't like this at all with this. I am not a fan. I feel like my feet are like I feel like I'm about to fall at any time. I feel like I would have to stand like this. Again, size 15 boot. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that. I would not want to sit here long. Again, if I did, I would have to lean into the tether. It's just not comfortable sitting like this. I mean, as you can tell, in this angle, my feet are not even in the frame because they're just hanging off. But like I said, I've never shot this way. I've never needed to. I would have to stand like this, like Wendy. What? Dorothy? There's no place like home. Yeah, I don't like that. It's definitely comfortable. Just the platform itself has a lot more room. I like how on the Wingman my feet aren't angled up as much as the Ultimate platform. I don't feel like I'm like that. My feet are just here, and it doesn't feel like there's a gradual decline off the platform. It's kind of just it's a smooth transition. But this is man, it's really hard to tell what I would choose. It's definitely comfortable. Definitely need some knee pads though with this street. Good gosh. I do think that the Trophyline wins in terms of surface area. There's just not much on the UP, and I think for me that could come down to the deciding factor. It's hard to tell which one I would use. I'm gonna have to play with these a little more. If you told me now you have to pick one, I'm taking the other one away. First I would cry and say, can I have my money back? I would have to choose the Wingman because there's just way more room for my big feet. So if you have small feet, that may not be a deciding factor. The deciding factor might be the angled step, with your back against a tree. It might be, that little side pressure. So hopefully that helps. Next, I'm going to talk about pricing and the differences, and if it actually really is that much of a difference between the two. And there's one thing that actually might help you decide if you're in the military. So hopefully that was informative. And if you have big feet, I get your struggle. I get it. The struggle is real. Anyway, so yeah, let's go ahead and talk about some prices. All right, so I just wanted to do one final thing. I wanted to end this video just kind of talking about pricing. I got it pulled up here off both their websites to show you the different prices. All right, so we're just gonna start with Trophyline. So I already went through all the process of adding it to my cart, and this is what shows up. It's $189.99. What that comes with is the platform, the 17-inch stick, the button right here, and then the bottom step, and then the standoff, the two standoffs. So these are just kind of standard standoffs. They're a little shorter in height than the EWO standoffs. But anyway, we already talked about that height. How the Trophyline, is a little bit taller anyway. But so we're looking at $189.99. Basically, the shipping is pretty standard. I think it's just $18 wherever, but it could be less, could be more. I'm not sure. Just for my address, it was $18. So $189.99 plus 18 come out to $207.99. Now, for some reason, they don't charge tax, so you're looking at $207.99. Now, if you wanted to add the Cam Cleat, you're looking at around $36, maybe plus tax. So I would just put around $40 for that, and then you can find a rope between $15 to $30 depending on which one you get. So let's just say $30. So you're adding another $70 for the cleat and rope. So $207.99. You're looking at about $280 for this stick with the Cam Cleat and the rope. What you would need to actually one stick. And then I will say you probably also need like a Night Eyes gear tie or some sort of device to put on the stick so you can pull it up. And we'll show you what Eastern Woods Outdoors offers. So this I just did standard without the Cam Cleat and the rope, just to show you kind of the similarities between this and the Trophyline without the Cam Cleat and rope. So we're looking at just getting this. It would be the platform, the stick, the standard bracket, the step, and then the pull-up rope handle. We are looking at with shipping, and I went throughout the whole checkout and there wasn't any taxes, so I don't know if it would change that for you, but take that into consideration. We're looking at $228.94. So the difference of $207, basically $208. We'll say the Wingman's $208, and then $228.94. So about a $20 difference, and that's obviously, yeah, if you get a different stick, it could be smaller. You could save on that, but also if you want to get a camo dipped, that adds to the price too. So, but we're just going to go with this comparison like we've done the whole video. Looking at the EWO is about $20 more. Now I went here and I added the cleat and then the one stick rope that they offer here, and doing that came out to about $294, and that's with shipping and all that stuff straight to you. And like I said, it does come individually wrapped, so you have to put it together yourself. So say you wanted to get the Trophyline, but you wanted to add the standoffs from EWO. So if you did one, has to be a rotating one for the top, because that's the only way you can fit the Trophyline. The top one is rotating. You're looking at adding 22, and then getting one for the bottom, you're looking at around 23. So you're looking at about 45 to 50 bucks to add to the stick. So adding that to that with a cleat and rope, it was about 280. So then you're looking at about 330 as opposed to 294. So that's something to take into consideration. If you don't really care to have that extra space from the tree, then you're looking at 280. So I also wanted to pull this up. I did kind of just to show you what it comes with. I know, fancy, right? So the Trophyline Wingman, it comes standard with the platform 17-inch stick, bottom step, 2 rotating standoff brackets, and if you add the Cam Cleat and some Amsteel rope, you're looking at around 280 bucks total. And you know, again, give or take some. And I will say, this is huge. If you are a military active or anything, they have a military discount, and that's 20% off. So if you go back to this, $189.99, take 20% off. That's what, 38 bucks off. So you're looking at paying 151. And so if you went that route, if you're in the military, 151, and then you want to get these extra brackets, that could be that extra, 50 bucks. Do an even swap, between this and the EWO stick. EWO, I contacted them and they do not. They said that's just not something they can offer right now. So anyway, the EWO stick with the angled ultimate platform, looking at the angled UP, 18-inch stick, the double step slotted bottom step, standard standoff bracket. You only need one because the other one's integrated. Then you got a Cam Cleat, Amsteel rope, and then the pull-up rope. You're looking at about $295. So honestly, y'all, they're pretty much the same price, give or take 15 bucks. Like, it's not that big of a difference. Now, I will say one thing you do need for both of these sticks, you need some sort of aider to get up the tree. You have to have that one sticking, 2-3 steps, whatever. And then I like that EWO offers it, the pack and play. I think that's an awesome way just to keep the aider in one spot, and then you unhook it and then it just drops into position. I'm going to add that this season, because last season I just wrapped the aider around the stick and it just kept getting tangled up. So definitely get an aider and a pack and play. Like I said, I think I would recommend the Ultimator. I think that's the best option. But there's your pricing, y'all. Pretty much the same price. So I wouldn't fret over, which one's cheaper, which one is going to cost me so much more. Like, if you're wanting to get either one of these sticks, you're going to be paying around the same price. Unless you're in the military, that might be a big selling point for y'all for the Trophyline, because that's 40 bucks off pretty much. And I think that's awesome that they offer that, and I think all companies should, because militaries, man, we appreciate y'all. And so I know I appreciate y'all, and so hats off to you. So yeah, there's the different prices, y'all. So make your choice and enjoy it. It's going to be fun either way. All right, y'all, this is the end of the video, I promise. And if you made it the whole way through, I really appreciate it. It means a lot to me. So hopefully this video was very informative and helpful, and maybe you were able to make a decision from watching this. If that's the case, man, that's awesome. So after the cameras were all turned off, I did play around with sticks a little more, because I really wanted to be able to make a decision so I could let you all know in the video which one I'm going to be choosing for next season. After playing around for a few more hours, I was able to come to a decision. And so for next season, without further ado, I am going to be rocking the Trophyline Wingman. That's right. Listen, I think the deciding factor for me was just the surface area. Apparently, I really liked that phrase, surface area. I said it so much. And also, it really bothered me watching the video. I kept saying indentation, and that is not the right word. It was more like ridges. Indentation was right for the EWO when we're talking about this little thing right here. That's the indentation mark. The things that stick out from the platform are not indentations. Those are ridges. Those are bumps. I said it a lot, and that just really bothered me. Hopefully it bothered you, because vocabulary is important, and the usage of words are important. The usages, the exact, see, I'm annoyed right now at myself. Anyway, so hopefully, all that information helped you make a decision. And yeah, I'm going to be rocking this Trophyline Wingman next year. And I may put the EWO standoffs on it. I may not. I'm not sure yet. But either way, that's what I'm going with. Appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good one.